Hi there guys, welcome back to another video, and in this week's video we're going to be discussing a very popular strategy that allows you to get into property with very little to no money at all. Most of the time people usually think that to get into property you need hundreds of thousands of pounds, and in some cases that might be true, but there's definitely a few strategies out there that allow you to get into it with very little to no money at all. This specific strategy is the one we use and it's been really effective. We got into property with very little money, so again this is just our perspective from it. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So the strategy we're going to be talking about today is called deal sourcing, or deal packaging as some people like to call it. And this is essentially where you're doing all the legwork to find the deal. So you're getting the offer accepted, you're finding the property, you're doing the figures on it, and essentially the only thing you're not doing is actually buying the property. So once you've managed to get a deal and you've got an offer accepted on it, you would then package the deal up and sell it to one of your clients in exchange for a very small fee. A lot of sources will work in very different ways. Some sources might just find the property, pass it on to their client and then move on to the next deal. Some sources, like ourselves, we find the deal, we package it up, we sell it to an investor, and then we walk them through the process. We stay in good communication from the start of the project towards the end until they're satisfied with the results. Now you don't have to do this, but the reason we do it is to just help build up relationships with our clients so we can use them over and over again. So the main thing you're here for is basically how much is the startup cost, and essentially all around it's about £1,000, which when you look at things is not a lot of money at all considering how much you can potentially make once you've actually started the company up. Be sure to check out this video that Harley did, basically talking you through the whole compliance and basically everything from start to finish in terms of setting the actual company up and how much it'll actually cost you. So this £1,000 allows you to get into property at a very reasonable price. You know, £1,000 isn't too much for a lot of people, and essentially once you've done your first deal you are going to be making that back. But say for example you're looking to get into property and you have zero money at all, there is still a way to get involved, and it's called co-sourcing. So very similar to actual sourcing, so what I just mentioned, but instead of you selling it to a client, you would then pass this deal on to a fully compliant sourcing company and then they would sell it on behalf of you. So essentially the reason for this is if you don't have that £1,000, all you're doing is finding the deal, passing it on to a company that is fully compliant, so they have paid that £1,000 and set the company up, and then they're going to sell it to one of their clients. Now this is a really good way to get into property, as essentially it's no money in and you're going to learn so much and you're still going to get a reasonable amount of money for it. The average sourcing fee can range from around 2,500 to 3,000. So again, you could be making 1,500 or 1,250 off a single deal and you've put no money in at all. So now moving on to the sourcing side of things, to be a good deal sourcer or deal packager, you need to be able to find good deals. Now there's plenty of ways you can find good deals, and you can't always rely on online portals such as Rightmove and Zoopla. Although they are very good portals to potentially find some good properties and negotiate on the price, you do have to look at some other ways in which you can find some good deals as well. So this can be through building up relationships with agents and hoping that they can send you some off-market deals before it goes out to the rest of the people really. And then you also want to be focusing on some direct-to-vendor marketing. So whether you're sending letters through doors, Facebook ads, these are really good methods to find properties off-market. And if you can find off-market deals, then you're in no pressure to do everything so quick, as you're the only person interested. And another benefit to this is because you're contacting the vendor directly, you have more bargaining power, which means you can potentially negotiate even further down. And I think another underlooked one, and something we're looking into, is actually co-sourcing. So because we're a fully set up company, we're fully compliant, we're looking to co-source with other people as well. Therefore, they can bring us some of the deals, we can sell it on their behalf, and then we just split the fee. So becoming a sourcer isn't as simple as it sounds. First of all, you need to be able to find good deals, and secondly, you need to be able to sell them. And that's definitely not as easy as it seems, especially if you're just starting out in property. So one of the most beneficial things you will need if you're beginning in basically anything to do with property is a good deal analyzer. Now when we first started in property, we just had a normal deal analyzer, and although it was okay, it did take a lot of work to actually find the end result, which means we spend a lot of time analyzing deals. Now we have a fully automated deal analyzer, which essentially we just put in a few of the figures, so the asking price, the refurbishment, and a few other costs and the end value, and then it will automatically work out the return on investment and the yield. Again, if you're just starting or you're after a fully automated deal analyzer, then do be sure to check out the link in the description, and there you'll find a really good one. So another thing you do need to understand as well before you get into sourcing is understanding what strategy you're going to pick. So in property, there's tons of strategies. You can do buy, refurbish, refinance, flips, normal buy to lets, developments, and I think you just really need to find one that you can do and master. Now, if you're looking to sell deals on a consistent basis, the best deals and the one in the highest demand is the buy, refurbish, refinance strategy. So where you're essentially buying a property for cash, adding some value to it, and then a bit later down the line, you're refinancing and hoping to take out most of your money. And again, if you can source these buy, refurbish, refinance deals to a really, really high standard, then you'll be able to sell them 100%. And of course, if you are looking to get into the buy, refurbish, refinance deals, looking to source them for your clients, then do be sure to check out this video that Harley did a couple weeks back, where he goes into everything you need to be able to do in order to find a good buy, refurbish, refinance deal. So now that you can source good investment deals, the next thing, and probably one of the most underlooked thing, is that you need to sell them. And although that sounds very obvious, a lot of people just tend to focus on the deal side of things, but don't understand how difficult it can be to actually find investors. Now, what are some of the best ways to find investors? Again, I did a whole video on this a couple weeks back, which again, I'll also link in the description. But some of the best methods we've done is first, Facebook. There's a ton of Facebook groups out there which allow you to post your deals, and hopefully clients will come forward and show interest. And another way you can attract clients is through building your brand on social media. So again, we use Instagram, and Instagram has been great for us. We've just been building up our brand as we go, and about 90% of our investors have come from Instagram, and basically they've came to us. We hadn't had to go to them, which is really, really good. And we've sold all our deals through Instagram, which is amazing. But again, the thing with building up your brand is it is not an overnight thing. It does take some time, as you are basically building up trust with your clients. And now once you're able to find investors, that's basically everything done. If you can source good deals and find good investors to sell them to, then you've got a really, really good start. And again, if you can do this consistently, then you're definitely in for some success. But just remember that this video is basically just telling you how you can get into property with very little money. And although in this video it may seem fairly simple, it does take a lot of hard work. For example, for every deal we do, we've calculated that we have to put in 50 offers to only get one offer accepted. And even then we haven't actually sold the deal, because then we need to pass it on to a few of our clients. And if they're not interested, then we have to go back to the agent to tell them that we can't sell it. So again, this is why sourcing is very underlooked, as it's one of the most difficult strategies to get right in property. If you can find good deals and actually sell them, then you'll definitely be in for some success. Now, to conclude, the reason why deal sourcing and deal packaging is a great strategy to get into is mainly because it's low startup costs. So for around about £1,000 give or take, you're able to get into property, you're fully compliant, and if you can provide good deals and sell them on, then you're definitely in for a treat. Because basically the first deal you sell, you're essentially paying back that initial investment you did to set up the company. But just remember that the sourcing industry as of now has a very bad reputation. Therefore, it's not difficult at all to stand out. If you can provide good deals and you're transparent with your clients, then I can guarantee you will be successful. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to getting into property. Of course, if you have any questions at all, please do comment them below, or message us on Instagram. And of course, if you are looking for that automated deal analyzer, then do check the link in the description. I will also be linking all the videos that I've just touched upon in this video as well, just to make sure that you've got a really good start when it comes to investing in property. So until next week, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.